There was a young fisherman named Leo who lived in a small coastal village. Every morning he took his boat out to the calm waters close to shore and cast his net. The catches were always modest, enough to feed himself and make a bit of money at the market. But he'd often gaze toward the horizon, wondering what lay beyond. One day, an older fisherman named Tomas noticed Leo staring out at the distant line where the sky met the sea. Tomas chuckled and said, "You'll never catch fish by looking out there." Leo shrugged. "I know, but sometimes I wonder what's out there. Bigger fish, maybe, or places we've never seen." Tomas shook his head. "Maybe, but no one around here goes beyond the horizon. We have all we need here. It's better to stay where it's safe." But the thought lingered in Leo's mind. Day after day, he looked at the horizon, the place where the sea seemed to meet the sky, a line he couldn't quite touch. And day after day, the idea of venturing out kept growing. Finally, one quiet morning, Leo decided to go beyond his usual fishing spot. He took extra supplies and rowed toward the horizon. As he rowed, the shoreline grew smaller behind him until it was just a faint line. He rowed for hours, his arms aching, the endless water stretching out in every direction. The sun was high when he finally stopped. He looked around and realized he was truly alone, surrounded only by water. The familiar shoreline was gone. He cast his net, but the wait felt longer, the water silent and still. After a while, he pulled his net up and found it empty. As the day wore on, Leo felt a pang of doubt. He thought about turning back, wondering if Tomas had been right. Just as he began to row, he saw a shimmer below the water. Slowly, he cast his net once more, holding his breath. When he pulled it up, his net was filled with fish, larger than any he'd ever caught near the shore. Leo laughed with relief, his heart pounding. He'd never seen fish like these, shining and strong. He spent the rest of the day casting and pulling up a bountiful catch. By evening, his boat was full, and he turned back toward the village. The journey home was slow, the weight of the fish making the boat heavy, but Leo didn't mind. He felt a quiet pride, knowing he had dared to go beyond the line everyone else stopped at. When he finally reached the village, Tomas was waiting at the dock, arms crossed, a curious look on his face. "You really went out there, didn't you?" Tomas asked. Leo nodded, showing him the fish. Tomas examined them, raising his eyebrows. "Never seen anything like these," he admitted. "But what if you hadn't found anything?" Leo thought about it. "Then I'd know what's out there. I wouldn't have to wonder." Tomas nodded slowly, a hint of respect in his eyes. "Maybe not all of us are meant to go that far, but I'm glad you did." As Leo unloaded his catch, he realized that it wasn't just the fish he had brought back. It was a new understanding, something he couldn't see from the shore. He had pushed past his own boundaries, and that alone was worth the trip. You see, in life, growth often lies beyond the limits we set for ourselves. Sometimes, the courage to venture beyond what's familiar brings rewards far greater than what we could imagine.